reality for thousands of singers around the globe every day. When you perform in amplified situations, you often cannot hear yourself. It's just a thing. So if you have spent untold hours practicing in acoustic environments, practicing with your coach or in your car or in your living room, your bedroom, your shower, and then you step into an amplified situation to perform, you have a problem. Your brain has a problem. You haven't taught your brain how to process information in this way. And now you want to process a whole lot of very complex information in a way that your brain hasn't practiced. Now, it's true that this can be a very nuanced problem because every singer and every performance situation is different. But it is also a universal situation for any singer using a microphone. So yes, even music theater singers. So that's what we're going to unpack today. So stay with me. And I guess I'm broadcasting. Sorry, I'm having software problems today. I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope I don't have to do this again. I am Meredith Colby, crossing my fingers. I'm the author of Money Notes, How to Sing High, Loud, Healthy, and Forever, which introduces Neuro-Vocal, a way to help singers of popular styles achieve strength, range, and freedom based on brain science. I teach voice teachers and coaches. Like right now, I have 2 classes in session where we are learning how to use Neuro-Vocal to help singers of all the popular styles. So anything you sing into a microphone. So metal, a lot of people call CCM, right? So rock, R&B, metal, hip hop, all this stuff. So I'm also available for private coaching and for professional singers and voice teachers and coaches, as well as for adults who are aspiring singers. So I never say that because I sort of think it goes without saying, but then I think people don't really know that I do that. So I do that. And if you want more information about working with me in any of the ways, you can go to my website, which I have now secured the address, the URL, neuro-vocal.com. So easier to remember than my name, which is hard to spell. So there you can find information about working with me in all the ways. I can also do presentations for groups. So all the ways you can find right there. Today, I have a freebie for you. It's a PDF download. Very relevant to what we're doing today. It is called My Studio Mic, or just Your Studio Mic Setup. Maybe it's Your Studio Mic Setup 2023. So it's a thing I put together for, it's a mic and monitor system. I even included the cords and the stands because I just don't want you to have to feel like you have to figure anything out. It is simple, it is affordable, and you need it for your studio. If you are teaching or coaching for singers of popular styles, my friends, you need to get your clients on a microphone. You need to do it yesterday. So if you are on my mailing list, you already got this in your email today. And if you are not on my email list, that's okay. You can just put, if you're on Facebook with me, you can put amplify in the comments. And if you are watching on YouTube, you can find the link in the comments. No, the description below. Have to use the right words for the things. So as always, my friends, if you like this video, please like it, please share it, please comment on it, follow my page, all that stuff. It is, this is the currency of social media. The algorithm likes this stuff. So if you feel that I'm being helpful to you, you can be helpful to me by doing any of the things, any or all of the things. Says I'm live. Okay, now let's get to it here. Decibels are a unit of measurement. Now here's some fun things that I recently learned, which is that decibels are a ratio. They are a logarithmic unit of measurement. It's not linear, right? So decibels measure sound pressure, and the acronym they use is SLP. So 0 is just the standard air pressure of the atmosphere. and it is supposedly the lowest threshold of human hearing, but I don't understand that because we can't hear air. But anyway, even though decibels cannot be understood as a linear unit of measurement, we can still use decibels to indicate how loud something is and just sort of get the feel for it. So we're gonna do that for a second because I want you to understand this, okay? Also, we can use it to predict hearing loss. So that's helpful too. Now, so here's some ideas of decibel levels, okay? Now, your dishwasher or your shower, that's about 70 dB. So not loud, hopefully, although I've had some pretty loud dishwashers, but that's, your shower is about 70 dB. A lawnmower or a snowblower, that is about 90 dB. Sustained exposure to 90 dB or 95 dB can result in hearing loss. So that's really important. They say if you are at that level of volume, you need to limit your exposure to about 30 minutes at a time to let your ears recover. And that, well, there's some biology to that that's interesting, but we won't go down that path right now. So an emergency vehicle siren is about 120 dB. So when you have that inclination to just, cover your ears, that's because, hi, Leanne, that is because 120 dB is your pain threshold for hearing. Now, that is just to give you an idea so that when I tell you that a typical amplified band on stage is at a volume of about 100 dB, you will understand that this is a very, very loud situation. It's very loud. And any of your clients who are singing in bands are in that situation. And the reason that I want you to understand that is because in those environments, it is literally impossible to hear your own voice. Internally, orally, doesn't matter. You make a sound in that environment, you cannot hear your own voice. And that's a problem. That can be really a problem for singers in these situations. If a singer has spent nearly all of their time singing and practicing in acoustic environments, as I talked about before, they have taught their brain to be dependent on this particular sonic feedback that they get in acoustic environments. And you can see how that would be really problematic over time, because when you are performing in situations where you can no longer hear yourself acoustically at all, it really has you walking on marbles. So add that, the fact that you can't hear yourself, to all the other visual stimulus that's coming in, the interpersonal stimulus, all the sensory stimuli that is happening in these band type performance situations, and you have yourself a brain that's working really hard, a brain that's working overtime. You very likely have a singer who is working on the music, who is just getting through the song rather than confidently and joyfully singing. Now, once in a while, a singer will be able to hear themselves really well. I have actually had those gigs where I'm like, oh, I can hear myself really well, and it makes it really nice to be able to sing. But those are the exception rather than the rule. Now, your clients might be using in-ear monitors. Those can be fantastic. They also can be just as bad or worse than floor monitors because two reasons. One, you're still dependent on the sound guy. So if the sound guy is not giving you what you need in your in-ear monitors, then you're still, you still don't have what you need. Also, with in-ear monitors, the speaker driver is all of 12 millimeters from your eardrum. So there is a potentially dangerous situation there. Now, a little aside here, and I even made something so you would write it down. There's a product called IE Match, and it's a little dongle. It is a limiter for in-ear monitors. And so if you use in-ear monitors and you love your in-ear monitors, I totally get it. And also, please get IE Match so that you don't blow your eardrums out ever. Now, okay, so that was just a little aside. All right, now the sort of tragic part about this, and here I'm really speaking from experience, is that singers get so determined to do their job, to do a good job. Thanks for the heart. Is that they barely know that this is happening. They hear themselves a lot of times when you're on stage in these 100 dB environments. You can hear yourself in this sort of like, I don't even know how to say it. It's just like the room. Like you hear your own voice in the same way that you are hearing the guitar and the drums and the bass. It's just like all this sound that's in the room, which is a really weird way to get that sensory input. And so, yeah, so you kind of are hearing yourself. And because you are on stage and people are looking at you and there's expectation and you don't know what else to expect, you just get through it. You just punt. You just get really determined. But if you are in that situation, then you are not having as much fun as you could be. So there are alternatives. There are alternatives to just gritting your teeth and getting to the end of the song without screwing it up. We want to help our clients. How can we help our clients? Or maybe I'm talking to you. Maybe you are this person who is fronting a band. How can we help you? Couple of ideas today. This is not comprehensive. I never say that I'm giving you all the answers, but I do like to give you things to think about. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes real quick. Okay, so the first thing is you need a microphone in your studio. If you do not have one, I am telling you, I am asking you, I am begging you, please get a studio mic set up. I'm going to put up my thing again, if I can find it here. So if you are just joining me, this is the freebie today. If you're on my email list, you already got this in your inbox. If you are not, then put amplify in the comments, or if you're on YouTube, you can find it in the description below. You can find the link to this, but this will walk you through, well, it's two things. First of all, it gives you what to buy. It tells you what to buy. They're really affordable components. And it's a monitor system. So yes, you can use it in your studio so that your students and clients can hear themselves and you can hear yourself on the mic and get the feel for how that works, how microphones actually work. And also you can bring it on the gig. So it's called a spot monitor. It's on a stand, so you can put it right, it's just looking right at you if you want. And so you don't have to, a lot of times monitors are kind of pointed toward your knees or your crotch, which is not where your ears live. So that's problematic. But this little spot monitor is on a microphone stand, so you can fix it to where you need it to be. So anyway, yeah, you can use it in your studio. You can use it on the gig. I recommend a $100 microphone, a couple of $100 microphones that are wonderful. And you can set this up. And also on this PDF, there's a link that takes you to a video that walks you through how to set it up. So nobody's going to expect you to know how to set it up. But you need to have this in your studio if you are teaching anybody who sings on a mic. And BTW, contemporary music theater singers, are singing on mics. So it's really important that people get the feel for hearing their voice come from some place that's not their face. It's brain math, you guys. It's math that your brain does, and they have to learn to do it. So that is the one thing, really important. Also, fun. That's the thing. It's fun. Like your students will see it. They'll walk in, they'll go, oh, you have a microphone. Oh, Miss Leanne, Dr. Leanne has a microphone. And they'll get all happy and excited, and you can like hang it there for a dog treat. If you do your exercises really well, then you can go on the microphone and we can sing your song. There's your dog treat. So you could do that. Don't tell them I said that. That's so rude. And then the other thing is, if you start working with your singers on objectives that are very specifically about how their voice feels to them, and if you are consistent and reliable and they practice consistently, their brains will get better at relying on that kind of sensory data rather than oral data. So this is what we do in Neuro-Vocal. Is I have a systematic way of teaching people's brains how to do this and how to make the appropriate and healthy sounds for popular styles, sustainable, appropriate sounds for popular styles, based on teaching the brain how to respond to internal sensory input. So that sounds so fancy and sciencey. Is there a way that I can say that that's not so fancy and sciencey? How does stuff feel inside your body? So if you just say to them every once in a while, just how does that feel? Or look for the feeling or whatever, that's not a bad thing, but it will not serve them as well as if you have a very consistent way of talking about it. And you consistently come back to that again and again, because remember, you want to train their brain to be able to rely on that sense, that internal sense. How does my singing feel to me inside of my body? Right, because that doesn't change. Regardless of the sonic input that they're getting or who they see in the audience or the lighting or any of the other stuff that's happening inside their body, that sensory input remains consistent. And so if they have learned how to sort of focus on that a little bit more, then they will have a little bit more of something to stand on when they are singing. So it's not so much like walking on marbles, right? We don't want them walking on marbles. And also, once you maybe don't tell them that they can't hear themselves on stage, because they might kind of hate you. Once they'll come back to their lesson, they'll be like, I really can't hear myself on stage, and they'll be even more nervous than they were before because they'll know why. But anyway, so those are the two things I want you to think about in terms of empowering your singers who are singing into microphones, empowering them to have a more consistent and reliable and enjoyable experience singing, performing in those situations. The two things are, have them practice on a microphone. Guess what? It's okay to ask them to invest in this same system, the same setup that I'm asking you to invest in. If they're serious, they should be practicing on mic at home. Just saying. You're not out of line telling them to do that. So that's the one thing, practice on mic. And then the other thing is consistently focus on how the voice feels inside the body when you are practicing. So those are my two little nuggets today to help. Oh, this has been up here this whole time. Oh, no, one more thing. So I do want to tell you that if you want to know a little bit more about how to train the brain to hear from inside, feel how to feel your voice. Sorry, I got a little distracted. On the Teachable platform, I have a course called How to Teach High Rock Belt, it's called. And it walks you through systematically how to show your brain to do that. So if you want to go to moneynotes.teachable.com, you will find that there, and that would be helpful. If I'm saying to you, look for a feeling, and you're like, what does that even mean? You can go there and find that class. It will help you to see what I mean when I say you can have a systematic approach to teaching your brain how to do that. Okay, so there we go. Is this it? No. I had that. I had those. I made them today. Did I use them? I did not, because I got a little carried away. Work on a mic. Let's recap, shall we? Work on a mic. And there, work with physical feeling. There, now we know. I got to use my slides that I made. Okay, everybody, have a great week. Thanks for staying with me today, and thanks for hanging out here with me today. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope I gave you something to think about. And if you have questions, you know where to find me. I'm at meredithcolby.com. I'm at neuro-vocal.com, and I'm on Facebook all the time. So have a great week. Bye-bye.